We've had our 48 hours moored in Bugsworth, and now it's time for us to move on. But first, Michael being Michael wants to explore the rest of the basins by boat. Bugsworth is a complex of basins at the terminus of the Peak Forest Canal that first opened in 1804. We're moored at the end of the lower basin, or New Drop as it's also known. Bugsworth was once one of the busiest inland ports on the system. When the canal was built, a tramway brought limestone from local quarries for shipment by boat to Manchester and beyond. At one point, 600 tonnes of limestone per day was transported through Bugsworth, but by the 1920s the canal was hardly being used and it started to fall into disrepair. By the 1960s, the site was overgrown and in a terrible state. Since then, the Inland Waterways Protection Society worked for almost 40 years on the restoration, and the basins were fully reopened to boats in 2005. Of all the canal terminuses that we've visited, this is one of the more popular. There are many 48-hour moorings here, and a lot of them are in use. The horse transfer bridges were rebuilt during the restoration and are replicas of the original bridges. Back at the entrance basin, we turn down the other branch. There are stop planks in this short arm at the moment, but you can see to the end where there was once a warehouse straddling the canal. We then enter the area known as the Wide. This is one of the old tramway wagons. Up to 40 of these would be operated by one man, and it was a pretty dangerous job by all accounts. Loaded wagons were brought here by gravity, and then the empty wagons were pulled by horses back up to the quarries to be reloaded. This boat swings out in front of us, and in a bid to get round it, Perseverance becomes stuck on the silt. This basin is known as Middle Basin. There's a short arm under the bridge to the right, and to the left is the site of the Nat Hull West lime kilns. Into the upper basin, and I think that wall is all that remains of another warehouse that once straddled the canal. Barges would go into the warehouse to be loaded to protect the lime from the weather. There's plenty of room to win the boats here, and the remote control sailboats kindly move to the side. We then head back out the way we came. Here the lower basin is to my right and the wide is to my left. The lower basin arm is in front of us. This area once had numerous tramway tracks, and there was a crusher building to the right of me. Stone from the quarries could be broken up before being loaded onto the barges. We make a quick stop at the boater services to drop off our rubbish. There's also a little gift shop here, and they'd set up on tables outside the building when we visited to keep everyone safe. There's a rather lovely pig who lives right next to the canal here. Michael especially was very happy to make its acquaintance. The canal narrows for the old gauging stop outside the canal house. This is where the wharf manager would have lived and had his office. Boats would stop here so that the toll could be calculated and paid. I love that these little cottages are called Teapot Row or the Teapot Cottages. Does anyone know where they got their name from? It's only half a mile or so to the junction with the Whaley Bridge arm, and this time we're going to head that way as there are some 2-week moorings at the end of the branch. There's a rather cute little horse tunnel that goes under the canal if you don't fancy using the Narrowboat bridge overhead. There are private moorings pretty much all the way along this branch of the Peak Forest Canal. At the end of the branch we find Whaley Bridge Wharf and the transshipment warehouses. Where George is standing there was once a lime shed with a canal arm going into it, and next to that is an overspill weir which leads down to the River Goyt, but at the moment water is being pumped from the river up into the canal. And this is where we're going to moor up for a few days. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give us a thumbs up and comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.